Ladies and gentlemen, probably one of my most popular hashtags is a hashtag that I call hashtag date thugs, date death. And the reason for that is because it seems to ring very true. And all I'm talking about is it seems like it's a very dangerous thing to date a person, especially when you have children or deal with a person that might be involved in gangs, drugs, or illicit activities or whatever the case is. But if you decide to do that and you don't have kids, you're grown, you do what you want to do. But once you become a parent and you have children, or if you decide to procreate with people like that, then I just think that there is a certain level of risk that goes along with that, which is why I say when you date thugs, you date the possibility of death. Hope that makes sense. I hope that does not get misconstrued. But in this story, we're going to be talking about that. And I think that this individual that you see on my screen, who is currently in police custody, fits my description perfectly. I'm going to say some things that may or may not sit well with your sensibilities, but the story also is going to have some details that might turn your stomach. So that's your disclaimer if you need to exit the video. The individual that you see on my screen, this mother, her name, and I hope I pronounce her name correctly, Dejah Jenkins-Minus. Dejah, D-E-J-A-H. It could either be Dejah or Dejah. Jenkins, Minus or Minus, M-I-N-U-S. That's normally minus, but it might be Minus. I'm not sure. But that mother has been stabbed 58 times. I think most people have watched this channel long enough to know what that actually means. That is a crime of passion. That is a lot of hate and rage in a person's heart to go for an individual like this, let alone a mother, let alone a woman, with a weapon 58 times. She was stabbed 58 times and her neck was broken when police found her body in the bedroom of her on again, off again boyfriend's home in Lowell on the day after Thanksgiving, prosecutor said on Tuesday. On again, off again boyfriend. That sounds like stupidity. On again, off again. And we're doing this with children. These are parents. On again, off again. That's dumb. We have to start being way more stable if we truly love our children, and our children don't deserve this, okay? But let's keep going. The brutality of this mother's killing was outlined in Lowell District Court, where 22-year-old, let me see if I can get this fool's face up on the screen. She's a beautiful girl, too. Beautiful girl. Cannot deny her that. And she's young. This thug right here. His name is Leonard D. Robinson, 22 years old. He's young. He's a young dummy. Young and dumb and full of cum. And I've told you guys, I personally don't believe that young men under the age of 25 are good for very much, rather than just physical pleasure. And I fell into that boat as well. I'm not saying that I'm excluded from that. I think I'm included with that. I don't think that men under the age of 25, most men, should not be parents. Let me know when I've said something that's wrong, not just something that hurts your little damn feelings. Most men, most responsible men or most responsible fathers would agree. Most of us men don't have a lot to bring to the table under the age of 25 years old besides oh, we're real good at slinging that pipe. Real good for that. We got a whole lot of energy. Our bodies are usually in the best physical condition at that point. We got a whole lot of stamina, a whole lot of metabolism, right? Real good for that. But why does that always have to equal babies? We got condoms. We got pills. We got shots. We got snippy snips. We got tying the shoelaces. Abortion, adoption. Ugly options, but they're still options. This should not be happening between two parties, grown-ass people that should understand why are we still continuing to produce children when we're not ready to be parents. I'm going to be real. This mother and this father were not ready to be parents. They're young children and their brains are of young kids. They're not mature, working parents ready to bring children into this world and provide a stable environment for them. A lot of them aren't. Let me tell you the rest of the story. 22-year-old Leonard D. Robinson was charged and arraigned Tuesday on a murder charge. He pled not guilty and was ordered to be held with no bond. This was a tragic death that was caused by him on Thanksgiving Day, said Middlesex Assistant District Attorney Thomas Brent. The murder of 22-year-old Jenkins-Minus, so she's 22 years old, they're the same age. Shouldn't be having kids, man. Shouldn't be having kids. Too young, too stupid. And I mean both of them. I know the family is not going to like me saying that, but it's the truth. Don't get mad at the truth. The murder of her, Brant said, was perhaps driven by a conflict. Catch this. When I talk about young and dumb. Driven by a conflict over the 2-month-old daughter, beautiful little girl, by the way, that she shared with Robinson. Just 2 days before he allegedly brutalized Jenkins-Minus, or Minus, prosecutors said that Robinson wrote on a Facebook post, if y'all want to see that, let me pull it up. I can actually pull that up. I'm going to close my StreamYard since ain't nobody pull up on there. Let me show you guys this Facebook post. Hold on just a second. Let's take a look at this screenshot. This is 1 out of 2, I believe. Hopefully you guys can read this. That's about as big as I can make this on my screen. Robinson wrote a post on Facebook questioning whether he was the father of their daughter, writing that he had wanted a paternity test since this child was born. That's never going to be an excuse to murder, beat, or hurt someone. Never an excuse. I need to make that very, very clear. But a lot of these men are quite unstable because they don't have the mental capacity. They were not raised with their fathers in the household, which we know that to be a statistical possibility, that this boy that they want to call a man and a father didn't have a father in his life, so he didn't grow up to find any value in himself. Therefore, he didn't value the outside world. And it was clear to see that he was acting emotional because women are generally driven by their emotions. So if men get too much of that and don't get the logical side, which a man would normally provide, then it creates a mental instability. So if y'all want to ever talk about mental illness, why is that not considered a mental illness? Nobody is ever going to say, well, this young man, this young father was suffering from mental illness because he thought this was his child, and come to find out the mother might have had some infidelity that caused this mental stress on this father. I'm not saying that should be used as an excuse because it's not an excuse. But that is the damn truth. Is that not a mental condition? I don't like mental instability at all as an excuse for murdering people at all. I think people should all be held accountable and screw mental illness. If you are that mentally unstable, you should not be a parent. You should not have kids, and you shouldn't be around other people. Y'all catch that? pretty simple concept that I have. Let's take it to this Facebook message that he wrote very, very recently, just before Thanksgiving. Have your kids for you. Don't do it for no nigga. That's what he said. That's his words. Sees, I don't know what that means. When that nigga don't want you no more, you ain't and you shouldn't have the time to be chasing. He said to be chasing after the nigga or picking out flaws to, why he say TOO? To throw on social media. Like, really, you gotta put that same energy into being a mother. That's all I'ma say. Peace. Let me show you the other screenshot. This one. This one's a key indicator of what the motive was. This is simply just the motive. It says, ain't no way she forgot to mention she was, the F word, having sex more than one nigga when she got pregnant. He's trying to claim she was having sex with other people. When they talk about that on again, off again boyfriend, usually that means that the man is usually having sex with another chick. The woman is usually having sex with another man, which also proves the statistic. When a lot of these young mothers go out to go get a DNA test, a lot of times they are wrong on the first try because they don't know their gestation. They didn't pay attention to when they were screwing, who they were screwing, unprotected. I'm sorry, that's disgusting. And that's also why you have a lot of these STDs running around, because people are having a lot of unprotected sex. It smells bad and it burns real bad. He said, I ain't playing daddy, I ain't playing house, and always said I wanted a DNA test from the beginning. He called her a B word. Women get mad and post personal business all day long. It's corny. I ain't even want to post this, and I usually just let the B word live her best life on Facebook, even when she start lying. But this is different. Like if you go perform at least, oh my God, this boy is a true dummy. At least, he turned it into ad, A-D-L, like an ad and a lease together is at-A-T, least, L-E-A-S-T. You just make up words. I guess that's what we do. At least tell the audience the full story. All I'm saying is Bees is messy, petty, and wasn't ready for a kid, and it's sad that it shows on Facebook. Would you guys like to take a look at her message and her last Facebook post? Check it out. She said, a N, or the N word, that's not loyal to his kids is not loyal to no one. And of course they mean to anyone, but that double negative, we'll just skip that. We're not going to be the grammar police today, right? We know what she's trying to say. She's trying to say that this man should have blind loyalty and trust that this woman is producing a kid by him, and he shouldn't question it, knowing the fact that they both agreed that they were on and off. So if they were on and off, which means that they both were probably seeing other people while you were gestating and creating a kid. Why should any human being blindly believe and be stupid enough when you have a saying like, mama's baby, daddy's maybe? And that's a saying that's been around for generations. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. Where did that even come from? How long has that saying been around? That means that this type of thing has been going on for a long amount of time. Way before these people were born, and probably way before I was born. I think that's flat out irresponsible, and I know ladies might not like me to say this, because that is a knock on women in general. Not all, But to this mother, and for us to feel sad, I'm saying what we got to stop doing is pushing these thug lions, picking at these thug lions, and then wonder why they attack. That's what you picked the thug lion for. Because he's dangerous. You thought you could tame it, and clearly you couldn't. Hashtag when you date thugs, what? Beautiful little baby. Beautiful little baby. He wanted a paternity test since birth. The mother, her family said on Facebook that was a bright light whose life was taken far too soon. Let me skip some of this. The mother had been staying at her family's home in Boston for Thanksgiving when she departed with her daughter and headed to Robinson's home on Llewellyn Street in Lowell in the early morning hours of November 25th. She was expected to be at the family house in Boston for a Thanksgiving gathering. She did not return during that day. Concerned by her absence, her family members began frantically checking the location of her phone. It placed her at Robinson's home, and Jenkins, the mother, drove straight to Lowell. She found the home locked, empty, and dark. Early the following morning, as police were responding to the home for a wellness check, a family member of Robinson climbed through the window, calling out for him. He found his bedroom locked and kicked the door open. When police went through the home, they found blood splattered in the kitchen and on the floors and the walls. What the medical examiner's office noted was that Dejah's neck was fractured, that she was stabbed over 58 times. That is a painful death. Stabbed 58 times. She had 58 stab wounds to her body by a sharp object. There were defensive wounds on her hands, arms, stab wounds to her upper torso, front and rear of her neck, her face, and the back of her head. A knife that investigators believe is consistent with the murder weapon was found during a search of the home. The mother's family members found her daughter in a Boston residence on the afternoon of November 26, according to Marcella Dwork, a spokesperson for Ryan. She was surprisingly, miraculously in good condition. This is the little baby that they're talking about. Her diaper bag had dried blood on it, and it was not immediately clear how the girl ended up there. Those details we're still investigating. We don't know who took the baby to the house. We don't know how the baby appeared at the residence. But the baby is okay, so let's put a prayer hands up for that. That is a huge blessing. Huge blessing. So the baby is okay. Robinson was free on a $5,000 bail from 2 gun cases pending in Suffolk Superior Court, and had been ordered to wear a GPS monitor bracelet and to keep a 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew, according to records. I sincerely hope y'all caught that. He was already on a gun charge. And they said gun cases as in plural. So again, we're talking about accountability. I'm not saying that the mother is not the victim. She is the victim. She is the victim. She should not have been murdered like this. She did not deserve this. This mother deserved to live and go about her life. This man robbed her of that. I want to make that perfectly clear. But let me say this. That means that this mother knew that he was a thug, knew that he had gun charges, knew that he had a GPS ankle bracelet on. How did you not know that if you're having sex with this fool? Did he never take his pants off? Don't play games with me. That is impossible for you to have not known that he had an ankle bracelet on. And if you're from the hood, if you're around hood dudes, then you would have to understand what an ankle bracelet means. Everybody understands that means you did something, or at least accused of something, that you're a dangerous person that needs to be monitored. The case is pending. And you still went to hang with this fool? It takes the level of sympathy from 100% sympathy to the mother down to about 45% sympathy. 100%? 45%. That's where my sympathy level is, okay? Now, data obtained from that ankle bracelet, obtained by the authorities, placed him at the home, so of course they knew he was there. Thanksgiving morning. It indicates that he drove to multiple different locations in Boston before cutting off the bracelet at 4:56 p.m., according to prosecutors and the courts. He was arrested Monday night in Boston, and police said that he did not confess to the murder, Brent said in court. Robinson's public defender, because of course he couldn't provide private counsel for himself, did not object to the no bail order, but said Robinson is concerned that he would be in danger in the Middlesex House of Corrections. He is slated to appear again in court on December the 30th. That's 13 days from now. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, here we go. Let's get it.
First at 10, we are hearing from friends of the brand new mother murdered on Thanksgiving. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Ockerblom.
And I'm Vanessa Welch. This comes as we learn the man charged in the murder was the father of her child. Boston 25 News reporter Wale Aliyu live in Lowell tonight, where the suspect will see a judge tomorrow. Wale?
Vanessa, this is an incredibly heartbreaking story. So sad, I'm actually holding back emotions just trying to report this to you. But Middlesex County District Attorney's Office has confirmed 22-year-old Leonard Robinson of Lowell will be here at Lowell District Court tomorrow to face a judge for the Thanksgiving Day murder. Take a look at the very last Facebook post of 22-year-old Dejah Jenkins-Minus of Boston. On Wednesday, she wrote, "My daughter will never need for anything, and that she cannot wait to celebrate her first Thanksgiving tomorrow. Sadly, the next day would be her first and only Thanksgiving with her daughter." Lowell police found her body Friday morning on Llewellyn Street in Lowell after conducting a well-being check and say she had signs of apparent trauma. They say 22-year-old Leonard D. Robinson of Lowell fled the scene, but the baby was found unharmed. Police did recover a knife they believe to be the murder weapon. After an autopsy, the chief medical examiner's office ruled her death a homicide by multiple sharp force injuries. Police arrested Robinson Monday in Boston.
She just graduated. She just graduated high school. She just had her daughter. It was just Thanksgiving too.
We spoke with Devon Holiday, who grew up with Dejah. Holiday says the homicide by multiple sharp force injuries. Police arrested Robinson Monday in Boston.
She just graduated. She just graduated high school. She just had her daughter. It was just Thanksgiving.
Y'all know what's about to happen. Y'all know what's about to happen. What the absolute hell? Guys, this is a grown ass. I'm about to do it. Shut up. I'm about to do it. Don't you tell me don't do it. I'm about to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a grown-ass man with eyelashes on. What? What is wrong with you, sir? Did you just want to feel like a woman? Dun, 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 dun. Why do you have eyelashes on, sir? You can be limp-handed. You could be the limp noodle, limp hand. You could be gay all you want to. That's cool. I don't give a damn what you do behind closed doors. But these dudes are just ridiculous. Why can't you, if you like men, you like boys, why not just be a man and just date boys? I don't understand this. You're a grown-ass man, son. Why do you, he has makeup on. Why, fool? Look at this.
Police arrested Robinson Monday in Boston.
She just graduated. She just graduated high school. She just had her daughter. It was just Thanksgiving too.
We can even ignore the mannerisms. I don't even mind that. What are the eyelashes for, fool? I don't even like women wearing them big. Look, I'm a fair person, okay? Can we get that clear? I'm gonna pop my collar for a second. We get that real clear. I don't even like it when women do it. I don't even like it when women do it. Women look stupid, and you look stupid, sir. Quite stupid. Let's keep going.
We spoke with Devon Holiday, who grew up with Dejah. Holiday says she loved cheerleading and loved her family.
Honestly, I would love for her to be remembered as this amazing, goal-driven, hard-working mother that honestly would do anything to take care of her mother and her child and herself, for real. The world just lost an amazing person.
Y'all might have missed that part. I'm going to back that up and listen to what he said. Listen at this.
To take care of her mother and her child and herself.
Notice how he didn't mention no mention of a family and a father, because he probably didn't have a father his damn self. He talked about her taking care of her kid and her mother. Listen at this.
Hard-working mother that honestly would do anything to take care of her mother and her child and her.
She would do anything to take care of her mother and her child. That is what the black family is nowadays. A chick with kids and no man, no husband, no fathers. In a nutshell. All day, every day. And then y'all wonder why stuff like this keeps happening, but you keep producing the same results and you keep looking at it and you keep saying, well, why all these women keep dying? She was an awesome woman and she was so sweet and she would do anything for anybody, y'all. She would have gave that blue shirt off the back of her back for anybody, y'all. She would have done anything except give her child a proper father. Oops.
Self, for real.
Oh, Lord. We'll get back to that video here in a minute. We're going to skip that for now. We'll get back to that. I'm going to show y'all how much of a thug this. I'm going to show y'all what her baby daddy looks like on camera. I'm going to show y'all his behavior. We'll get back to that here in a minute.
The victim of an apparent homicide in Lowell has been identified by police as 22-year-old Dejah Jenkins-Minus of Boston. It's a case where police have not yet made an arrest. And as WBZ's Tiffany Chan tells us, her friends and family gathered tonight to remember her.
Dozens of people gathered outside of the victim's home here in Mattapan, lighting candles, comforting her mother, a 22-year-old woman, a new mother, taken far too soon. The pain too difficult to put into words. Hugs turned into uncontrollable sobs at a candlelight vigil near the Morton Street housing development. Relatives of Dejah Jenkins-Minus identified the 22-year-old as the woman brutally murdered in Lowell Friday. Her body. The Middlesex District Attorney says was found inside a home with multiple stab wounds. Loved ones showed up by the dozens, blocking off a portion of Wood Bowl Avenue to mourn, not only for Jenkins-Minus, but for her 2-month-old daughter, now without a mother. Investigators say her killing wasn't random. The crowd here in Mattapan praying for an arrest. Police in Lowell still looking for the suspect. Now relatives tell us that Jenkins-Minus does leave behind a 2-month-old daughter. They're rallying, doing everything they can to come up with donations to help this family get through the winter. From Mattapan, I'm Tiffany Chan for WBZ News.
An arrest in a Lowell woman's murder on Thanksgiving Day. Investigators have charged Leonard Robinson in the murder of Dejah Jenkins-Minus. Jenkins-Minus was found dead in her home last Friday. Her 2-year-old daughter was with her but not harmed. Robinson will be arraigned tomorrow morning.
A grieving family is asking for the public's help.
Let's keep the show going.
First.
The victim of an apparent homicide in Lowell has been identified by police as 22-year-old Dejah Jenkins-Minus of Boston. It's a case where police have not yet made an arrest. And as WBZ's Tiffany Chan tells us, her friends and family gathered tonight to remember her.
Dozens of people gathered outside of the victim's home here in Mattapan, lighting candles, comforting her mother, a 22-year-old woman, a new mother, taken far too soon. The pain too difficult to put into words. Hugs turned into uncontrollable sobs at a candlelight vigil near the Morton Street housing development. Relatives of Dejah Jenkins-Minus identified the 22-year-old as the woman brutally murdered in Lowell Friday. Her body, the Middlesex District Attorney says, was found inside a home with multiple stab wounds. Loved ones showed up by the dozens, blocking off a portion of Wood Bowl Avenue to mourn, not only for Jenkins-Minus, but for her 2-month-old daughter, now without a mother. Investigators say her killing wasn't random. The crowd here in Mattapan praying for an arrest. Police in Lowell still looking for the suspect. Now relatives tell us that Jenkins-Minus does leave behind a 2-month-old daughter. They're rallying, doing everything they can to come up with donations to help this family get through the winter. From Mattapan, I'm Tiffany Chan for WBZ News.
An arrest in a Lowell woman's murder on Thanksgiving Day. Investigators have charged Leonard Robinson in the murder of Dejah Jenkins-Minus. Jenkins-Minus was found dead.
I know some of these are going to be repeating the same information. I'm going to try to skip through some of them. But the video, y'all got to see the little live video that her little thug boyfriend had recorded. I'll get to that here in just a moment.
A grieving family is asking for the public's help tonight in finding the killer of 22-year-old Dejah Jenkins-Minus. Police haven't said anything about a suspect in this case since her body was discovered on Friday. WBZ's Tiffany Chan spoke with the victim's mother tonight.
The Jenkins-Minus family has no idea why someone would want to kill this 22-year-old woman the day after Thanksgiving. And with it happening so close to the holidays, the pain is just unbearable.
I'm more mad that they won't come forward.
A mother's tearful plea for justice just days after 22-year-old Dejah Jenkins-Minus was found brutally murdered in Lowell.
I knew something was wrong. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what, but I knew something was wrong.
It was LaToya-Minus' motherly instinct that led Lowell police to this home where her body was found Friday morning.
They told me that my daughter, that she was stabbed.
Did they say by who?
No, I don't know yet.
The Middlesex District Attorney's Office is investigating, but tell us the killing doesn't appear to be random. While Minus,
I think by that point right there, I just don't know if she just didn't want to say anything, but I think the mother of this woman right here, this mother, the grandmother, should have known that it had something to do with her boyfriend. Maybe she truly didn't know, but this seemed pretty obvious, but you know. This video was done kind of early on too, so maybe she didn't know.
Has an idea of who might be responsible. She can't fathom why someone would want to kill this young mother, who, telling by this candlelight vigil, was so deeply loved.
She's very outgoing. She's loving. She's a very uplifting young lady.
Minus is now desperate for answers and has this message for her daughter's killer.
They just need to turn themselves in. I'm lost. I'm hurt. I'm numb. I'm angry. and I want justice for my baby and my grandbaby.
The victim's 2-month-old daughter is being cared for by her mother. Lowell police have yet to announce any arrests.
A Lowell man is due in court today accused in the murder of a young mother on Thanksgiving. 22-year-old Leonard Robinson is charged with killing Dejah Jenkins-Minus. Police went to a Lowell home on Friday for
A Lowell man is now being held without bail, accused of murdering
most of these videos
a
are
young...
the same.
What we have in this situation.
Oh, here we go.
22-year-old
I'll show this one because this one's him in some semblance of court. So I'll show this one.
The suspect's social media posts may reveal a motive.
22-year-old Leonard Robinson stood before a judge inside Lowell District Court Tuesday morning to face the charge of murder for the death of 22-year-old Dejah Jenkins-Minus. What we have in this situation, Your Honor, is that Dejah is found in the house that he was living in alone, in his bedroom, which was locked when any witness or the police came to that location. Prosecutors say the body of Jenkins-Minus, the mother of a 2-month-old baby girl from Boston, was found Friday morning in this Lowell home off Llewellyn Street. Her death ruled a homicide by multiple sharp force injuries. Investigators believe she was killed by Robinson the day before on Thanksgiving. What the medical examiner's office noted was that Dejah's neck was fractured, that she had over 58 stab wounds to her body by a sharp object. Robinson was described by prosecutors as an on-again, off-again boyfriend of Jenkins-Minus. He was arrested in Boston. Further investigation revealed that there had been social media posts by the defendant questioning whether he was the father of the child, questioning whether he should have a DNA test, and also stating that he was mad at Dejah, and I would suggest providing motive. Dejah's mother, Latoya Minus, was in court Tuesday. It was her request for a well-being check that led to police confirming her worst fear. Her mother then and other family members then stayed up all night on Thanksgiving, looking to see if they could monitor the phone, Dejah's phone, as to where it might possibly be located. Robinson was held without bail. A probable cause hearing was scheduled for December 30th. Reporting in Lowell, Nick Giovanni, WBZ News.
A grieving family is asking for the public's help in finding the killer of 22-year-old Dejah Jenkins-Minus. Police have said nothing about a suspect in the case since her body was discovered on Friday. WBZ's Tiffany Chan just spoke with the victim's mother and joins us live now with that story. Tiffany?
Yeah, and the Jenkins-Minus family has no idea why someone would want to kill this 22-year-old woman the day after Thanksgiving. And with it happening so close to the holidays, the pain is just unbearable.
Just come forward. I'm not angry. I'm more mad that they won't come forward.
A mother's tearful plea for justice just days after 22-year-old Dejah Jenkins-Minus was found brutally murdered in Lowell.
I knew something was wrong. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what, but I knew something was wrong.
It was Latoya Minus' motherly instinct that led Lowell police to this home where her body was found Friday morning.
And they told me that my daughter, that she was stabbed.
Did they say by who?
No, I don't know yet.
The Middlesex District Attorney's Office is investigating, but tell us the killing doesn't appear to be random. While Minus has an idea of who might be responsible, she can't fathom why someone would want to kill this young mother, who, telling by this candlelight vigil, was so deeply loved.
She's very outgoing. She's loving. She's a very uplifted young lady.
Minus is now desperate for answers and has this message for her daughter's killer.
They just need to turn themselves in. I'm lost. I'm hurt. I'm numb. I'm angry. And I want justice for my baby and my grandbaby.
The victim's 2-month-old daughter is being cared for by her mother. Lowell police have yet to announce any arrests in connection.
Being cared for by the grandmother, I guess, to kind of clarify. So here's the thing. I forgot about that right there. We need to talk about that. Let me pull that up on the screen real quick. Let me see if I can find that. Now, I'm going to have to use my entire screen just so y'all could see this. I have to use my entire screen for y'all to see this. What you're looking at is this is the mother of that child, and that's her thug boyfriend. We got a lot more to talk about. I'm going to try to wrap this up really, really quickly, though. That's them. So here's what it was. For those who try to tell me, no, the mom of this little baby didn't know that he was a jailbird and had an ankle monitor on. Remember how I said it would have been impossible for this man unless he never took his pants off around her, and it seemed like that's primarily what they was doing, was a whole lot of pumping and sweating, huh? Because that's what these young fools do. It was impossible for her not to know that he had an ankle monitor on, that he was a criminal. I think she knew all along. How did I know that? Because of this picture that you guys see on my screen. Can y'all see what that is? If you look in that top right corner, they were on jail FaceTime, because I guess with the new COVID protocols and all of that kind of good stuff, I guess they're allowing them to have video calls, I guess, right? And she actually posted in her name is Dejah Star, that's her Facebook name, and she said, love face, he was excited to see me, and she cry face. Loved her a thug. How many of y'all want to deny my right to say hashtag when you date thugs, you date death? When this is a clear example of everything I've been talking about, from the fact of how they brought this child into this world, how they got into this relationship, all the problems that they had, all the animosity, the lying about who's fucking who, and all of that type of good stuff, whose baby it is, we're on again, off again. When you're on again and off again, everybody understands that means I can go have sex with who I want to have sex with. I'm going to try to clean it up a little bit, clean my language up a little bit. And you can't say that I cheated on you because we were off at that moment. Men and women do that to each other because they're irresponsible and nasty, especially when you do it unprotected. And even having sex protected is no guarantee of catching an STD or having a baby. Have any of y'all ever dealt with a broken condom? I have. I sure have. This is a clear example of when you date thugs, when you date the thug lion. Don't tell me that you didn't know he was a jailbird when he's on video and you thought it was cute and you posted it because you thought it was cute. Oh, he loved me, y'all. My thug lion loved me, y'all. He in jail and all he can think about is me. Well, usually that's the way it works. Usually fools in jail usually have a limited amount of options. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Here's the cold part about it. Let me be real with y'all. Thugs, criminals, killers, and baby murderers. I'm going to say it again. Thugs, criminals, baby murderers, non-law abiding citizens get more opportunity at attractive women than regular, hard-working, law-abiding citizens that earn an honest living like myself. There are a lot of men out there that can attest to that. You try to turn your life around, be a good person, stay out of trouble, but yet the fools that get rewarded with the attractive women physically, maybe, mentally they're not attractive, emotionally they're not attractive, they don't behave very womanly, but physically they're attractive. And most of the time us men are attracted to a shape and a feel and a smell. We think with our junk first. That's usually what attracts us. They get more cracks at the apple, the proverbial apple bottom than most men who act like they got some sense to do. Now, I can talk about that. But how about we talk about something I think is a little bit more important? Y'all ready for this? Let's talk about something that's a little more important. Rather than me and the mom getting on my Facebook or my Instagram or sending me a stupid ass email talking about, yous don't know what you talking about, DJ Just J. You wasn't there, y'all. You don't know what you's talking about. You disparaging our family, y'all. Instead of doing that, how about I give you something productive? Because what happened to her is sad and it should not have happened, regardless of how mentally unstable this fool was that she chose to date and put herself and her child's life in danger. And let's just thank the heavens up above that he didn't do something to the kid that he didn't think belonged to him. He didn't even think it was his kid. And he probably had an opportunity to murder the kid too and didn't. That's at least something to be thankful for. But here's what I think makes my podcast different than anybody else that you might listen to on YouTube. We don't have the biggest audience. We have a relatively small audience compared to most people who talk about child abuse. Let's talk about preventative measures. I think in situations like hers, the reason why I get all of those nasty, stupid messages from people is because people care too much about the end result as opposed to what led up to getting this result. I'm going to tell y'all, I am drinking on ISO tea, by the way, if y'all want to know what I'm drinking. Detox tea. It's awesome. I lost a lot of weight already. Mix it up in my water. It's instant tea. It's good stuff. Mix it with my Fiji water. I'm going to say that again. We care too much about the end result as opposed to what led up to the result. First and foremost, how did we get to this point? The mom, no husband. Mom probably didn't have a father in her life because her mom didn't have a husband and didn't have a father in her life. Do you see how we continue to pass this generational curse down? I don't need no man, y'all. I's independent. I's strong, y'all. I's a queen, y'all. My crown sits on my head, and my children keep my crown on my head, y'all. Where has that gotten us in the past 40 years? In my lifetime, where has that gotten us? Our people. Where's that gotten us? Screw everybody else talking about, well, white people do it too. You can say that all day long. They got bigger numbers and they doing way better than us. Our numbers are way smaller. We're doing way more bullcrap. And the more bullcrap we do affects us more because we're a smaller group compared to the group that you keep trying to compare us to. But let's not go there for now. Let's stick to the point. Her mom, grandma, no man. No man in sight. She out there crying in the wind by herself. Why? Because when women get over the hill at a certain point, I mean, no disrespect, ladies, don't take it personally. It's just the reality that all women are going to face at some point. When you get over the hill, you become less desired than a woman that's younger, that brings a little bit more physically to the table. That's just a fact. Men don't get with women for their money. Most women. Most women ain't Oprah. Most women ain't Ellen DeGeneres. I guess most men don't want her either, but whatever. As far as women, they got a whole lot of bread. I don't know a whole lot of women with a lot of bread, but let's just say, like, what's Amazon? What's his name? I forget his name. The CEO of Amazon. When he divorced his wife became one of the richest women in the world. She hit the wall. She over the hill. You don't have men trying to get with her like that, even though she's super freaking rich. She's crazy rich. And you don't have men just beating down her door like that. That's just a natural cycle of life we all understand. As the new come in, the old walk out. But that's why we need to make sure and secure our younger years, get with a woman that is worth something, and we need to be preparing from the age of 18, ladies, to the age of 30 to be a wife and present yourself in a fashion. That's what we should be teaching our young women. Hello? When you talk about being an advocate for children, we need to be teaching our young girls to be young women and to be wives. They should be prime candidates for wives. Why make them prime candidates to be baby mamas? It's not getting us anywhere. Therefore, if this mother, her mother and grandmother in this story didn't have a father in the household, then she has no idea how to tell her daughter how to pick a husband-worthy candidate. She got a fool that was her age, a fool that had no money, a fool that was going nowhere in life, a fool that acted a fool on camera and in person, an unstable fool, and guess what? That fool couldn't control his emotions and murdered the absolute dog shit out of this woman. Stabbed her 58 times and broke her neck. Are you kidding me? Remember, we're talking about preventatives. How do we prevent this? Have a suitable candidate. Not just any man. I'm sorry. You can't just go get a man and be like, that's a good man right there. No. What is he qualified to do? Make these men qualify to be something. He has to have an education. Talk like he got some damn sense. Dress like he got some sense. Write sentences like he has some sense. Be a reputable individual. Be a law-abiding citizen. Do your freaking taxes. Be an individual that will be a great candidate to be a father. Not even a good, but a great. We have no standards. What was he doing for a living? Would you guys like to see what this fool was doing for a living? How about I just show you? I can show you better than I can tell you. You dig? Let's get to it. Let me show you this. I want to show y'all what she thought would have been a prime candidate to make her baby daddy. Would y'all like to see this stupid shenanigans? Y'all ready for this? Let's check it out. You ready for this? Let's get it. That's baby daddy on the right. Watch this.
Snack was getting big all 2020, nigga, fuck they talk about it. I had to bend it up again. Ay, so my nigga JD behind the fucking can. Sure. We ain't lying about shit, I don't lie on my raps. That is all, bro, I can't cap. If it ever jig, I bet the back was gone. Ay, I had to bend it up again. Cause I know it was a jig, still made it shit, but I was trying to bust again. Papa eat so fancy, pop some berry, but I might bust again. And your bitch try to piss me, nigga don't dare me, cause I'm a fucking dead. Bitches, most niggas know what it is. I done did so many hits, and yeah, I'm a rapper, but I done got so many hits. I be higher than that, so gun got a rider, I can get so many hits. Whole attention is packed up, you get packed up.
You see the gun thing he did? I don't know what it is about these fools' obsession with guns. They're tools, not, and they be using these guns against each other. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut the song, but I had to point that out. Stupid crap.
So many hits, and yeah, I'm a rapper, but I got so many hits. I be higher than that, so gun got a rider, I can get so many hits. Whole attention is packed up, you get packed up, I got too many attempts. Game time, only hang with niggas from my hood that be on the same time. I bang mine, before it's been a stop and standing on it, I don't waste time. At the same time, I take it killers in the county, dealing through a state time. At the same time, I take it killers through a state time. Made it to a house that 30, had a bigger tray. Got made a hoe with that 80, caught him in the cold, they was trying to get away. Me and Black shot up the Mercedes. Hey, me and Black shot up the Mercedes, caught him in the cold, they was trying to get away. Me and Black shot up the Mercedes, I just did another. Boy.
You got this other fool over there co-signing, throwing up all kind of stupid ass gang signs and all this stupid crap.
I'm in the car, they was trying to get away. Big white shut up the Mercedes, I just did another. Boy, I ain't gotta say shit, cause niggas, boy, And I stayed with my boy, who this colon.
And I can guarantee y'all that after watching this video, there's some women out there that are going to turn around and be like, what's his Instagram? Y'all going to follow him and inbox him? Send him your phone number. But look, let me be real. Let me be real. I like the beat. I like the flow. Please remember, I'm a DJ. I'm a little bit more open-minded than most people. Beat was cool. Love the beat. Cadence was cool. I think what they talking about is absolutely stupid. They talking about killing and shooting each other. Killing and shooting each other, but we keep trying to turn around and point the finger at everybody else. I just think that that trend has to end. That cycle has to end. That music has to end. But again, we can't wait for somebody else to do it for us. We got to do that for ourselves. Black men. When are we going to stop saying, you know what? We're going to stop producing this murder music, antagonizing music, this music that's doing nothing but encouraging us to continue to keep taking each other out in high rates. It's not healthy. It's not good. There is nobody that's going to come in and stop us and say, you guys can't make this type of music anymore and go at each other like this. Why would they? You're doing it to yourselves. The only time anybody has something to say about it is when it happens to somebody else in other communities. Then they want to say something about it. So I think we got to be smart enough to raise up the awareness and the consciousness to stop putting out this stupid low vibration music. It's the words that matter, and the words are causing us to not value each other. So I think that is a hell of a lot of preventative that I've talked about in this story. If you didn't get anything else from this story, if you just think it's all about fun and jokes, and Jeff Bezos, thank you very much. I forgot what his wife's name was, but anyway. But if you think it's all about me cracking jokes and that's what this is all about, then I'm sorry. This whole podcast went over your head. I hope somebody learned something from this. Beautiful young lady. R.I.P. Definitely sorry for the grandmother in this story. And we can only hope that that baby stands a great chance and an opportunity to grow up and become something great. R.I.P. to the mother. And we hope that the baby daddy or potential baby daddy, if he is, gets life in prison. Maybe we'll get a DNA test and actually find out if that's even his kid, to find out what the real truth was, okay? But thank y'all for listening with an open mind as well as an open heart to this story, okay? When you date thugs, you know what you get.